They hate when you elevate. They stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Damion Crier, and I am back with another video. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, blessed, and amazing day today. If you have not subscribed to the Crier family, you already know what to do. Turn that bell on so you are subscribed to the channel, guys. Also, guys, I want to say thank you. Huge shout out to those of you who went over and followed me on my Facebook page. We just hit 1.5 million subscribers over on Facebook today. So thank you guys for that. It was not an easy journey. I had to do things, man, differently because I started seeing the changes with YouTube. And I'm like, whoa, you know, I wasn't the only one seeing those changes. So that was one of my changes that I had started earlier this year in 2023. But there was no way in the world I was expecting for it to blow up the way that it did. And I'm so thankful, and I will forever be humbled. Someone asked me, they said, why you don't promote your Facebook page on your YouTube channel like you used to? At the time, I was just getting it off the ground and I wanted to try something different. And a lot of people who support me on the TheCryerFamily, they did not go over and support me on Facebook. And so I can honestly say I kind of had tapped into a whole different audience. And right now, I've been stagnant at 530,000 on YouTube for the better part of 2 years. Whereas Facebook, it just blew up in 9 months. Well, no, I'm on my 12th month of it because I started it back in December. And so thank you all for the ones who did go over there. And first and foremost, I want to say Happy New Year's to every one of you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful and blessed night tonight, man. Be safe out there. Be really careful out there. If you're drinking and driving, man, I wouldn't suggest that you drink and drive because the police will be watching. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a social media influencer and I can't even afford to get a DUI. Them things are expensive. And it's more than just paying a fine and court costs. It's years of having to look, you know, of classes that you have to go through, all kind of programs. So it's a little bit more than just getting pulled over, going to jail and paying a fine. You have, like, getting a DUI would change your life. I got a DUI once in my entire life. It was May 30th of 2001. I got a DUI and I never got another one since, because since them years have went by, I had really stopped slowing down drinking to a point to where I'm barely even drinking right now. You would hardly ever see me drinking, guys, or come on social media drunk or high or anything. But so guys, I started my documentary in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where I was born and raised, because I wanted to take you guys back down memory lane as far as like where I come from, where I was born and raised at, my childhood. And I decided, like, this is the final part of the documentary. As you guys can see by the background, I am back home in my house and I'm so happy to be home. I got home yesterday, which was Saturday. I ended up sleeping for most of the day. I had a lot of love and support, people calling me, checking on me. I've even had certain relatives reach out to me back to back, you know, that was just calling me like every hour or every 2 hours. And that made me feel so good. So shout out to my little brother, TJ, and his wife for calling me and checking on me all the way back to Houston. That really meant a lot to me. So this is the final documentary, guys. And in the final documentary, it won't be like the first two where I showed a bunch of newspaper clippings and stuff like that, guys, because some things I look back at and it was kind of hurtful for me to really want to post certain things. It was just like a reminder of crazy things that I did. But I wanted to just at least post some of the stuff because, like, on this platform, people will say that you're full of cap. They will say that you're lying. They will say that you're making up stuff for a video just to get views and stuff. And I always tell people, I don't have to do that no more. I don't have to, like, do stuff to get clicks and views. I get a whole lot of clicks and views on other platforms. But I wanted to just show you guys, because sitting down doing a documentary, you know, you can talk all you want and you can be whoever you want during that 15 or 20 minute video. You can be whoever you want. You can put on a nice shirt, tie, makeup, lipstick, whatever. So you can be who you want for them 15 or 20 minutes. But when you tell your story, I found out that you have to have stuff that's going to support that story that you're telling. And that was the point of me posting pictures of my mom, posting pictures of my newspaper clippings, posting pictures of my little brother's murder, and like just a whole lot of stuff, because I wanted you guys to see where I come from. Growing up as a kid, I didn't have a really, really good life, but I didn't have a horrible life either. I grew up around all of my brothers, my one sister. And do you guys know, when I was in Indiana, I stopped by one of my auntie's house who had some old pictures of me. And my mom, she used to tell me about my sister and my brother that was born before my oldest brother was born. And I actually got my sister's obituary. Her name was TheCryerFamily, and she was born August of 1966, and she had died at the hospital. And so my auntie had gave me that obituary, and then my oldest brother sent me an obituary of my other brother that was born and had passed away. And so I was able to go back and find out a whole bunch of stuff that I had only heard about. But when I was younger, I didn't take the time to do my due diligence and find out like what was what. And I was able to see it with my own eyes. And so I want to take this opportunity right here to talk about my mom, because I didn't get a chance to attend my mom's funeral, give her flowers and say a proper goodbye to her. But my mom was a very, very strong woman. She came from a family where her mom, which was my grandmother, had 16 children. She had 10 daughters and 6 boys. So I had 10 aunties and 6 uncles, which was a combination of 16 altogether. So my mom grew up in a household with a lot of brothers and sisters, and I'm sure they did what typical brothers and sisters did, fighting and arguing and stuff like that, staying in trouble. And so my mom went on to, start having kids at an early age. And, she got out on her own. And, my mom was a really good woman. And I know like a lot of children would never get a chance to meet their parents, because a lot of them lose their parents at birth. But I was one of the ones who was blessed enough to be able to, meet my mom, spend time with her, get to know her. And like, since I posted a picture of my mom, which is something I would have never ever did in my life on social media, but I went ahead and posted a picture of my mom, and like so many people had so many positive feedbacks and so much positive stuff to say. And I really appreciate you guys for that, because she was a wonderful person. She was very dear to me and my brothers. And, she had at the end, me and my brothers and my sister, we all came out okay, but we was like a typical household where we fought and stuff, steal each other's clothes and stuff. And I was talking to my oldest brother when I was in Indiana, and we was just sitting back, like pulling out old pictures and old newspaper clippings. And it started like making us reminisce on some things, man, to see how real that it is and how much trouble that I was in back in the day. Not to mention how much of a jerk I was when it came to my mom trying to raise me and keep me out the streets, man. And it was just so much, man. But, I do miss my mom, my son, my brother. It was really sore. Like the stuff I was going to upload in the final documentary, which is this one right here. The stuff that I was going to upload, the other newspaper clippings and articles, it was so hurtful to me to actually relive that again. I just couldn't do it, guys. And I do apologize. So hopefully part 1 and 2 was enough to give you guys a little bit of information about where I come from, my background. And I'm not going to lie, it was I wanted to do this documentary so bad, and I just didn't want to do it without actually going back to where I came from, to where I was born and raised, walking down the alley where I almost lost my life at by a police officer. And with that situation with the police officer and me almost losing my life, and having a knife in my hand when he told me to drop the knife, if I would have lost my life that day, as much as I hate to admit it, that police officer, he would have been well within his rights to take my life. Because growing up now, and I see the dangers that police officers also face out here when it comes to approaching suspects that's real volatile, real dangerous. I look back on a lot of stuff from when I went to prison for, and when I was in prison, to where I'm at now in my life. I talked to my younger brother, TJ. He was the one that you guys seen in documentary part 2. He's one of my younger brothers, but he's not the youngest. My youngest is the one who was killed in 1995. But my younger brother, I think that at some point, me and my younger brother, we kind of fed off of each other. We kind of uplifted each other, even right now to this day. And me and him, we didn't always have the best relationship. Me and my youngest brother, the one that was in documentary 2, we actually had shootouts with one another, back in the day. Again, I was a gangster disciple. My brother, he ran under the 5-point star. And so we were rivals, but even though we were brothers, me and my brother, we still had our beef back in the day. And that's something that you guys never knew. Yes, me and my brother, we were involved in a shootout with each other, where we were ducked behind cars, and but to see how my little brother has changed so much, even though I'm a couple years older than him, he's even inspired me. To see his change and the way that he's grown over the years. He got married a few months ago, and shout out to my little brother, man. Listen, I'm so proud of him. Him and his wife, they got him a nice house together. They doing their thing, taking kids to the ball practices and stuff like that. And it's like, I seen him change so much over the years, especially since I've been down here in Texas. And every time I go back home to visit my little brother, he is doing so well. So bro, if you're watching this video, man, I'm letting you know, bro, I'm proud of you. I love you very much. Keep doing your thing out there, man. And I appreciate you doing that, clipping the video with me. Because a lot of people didn't really know that I had a younger brother, because, most of my family, especially on my side of my siblings, are real private people. Like my oldest brother, he's a business owner in Fort Wayne. He's been a business owner for the better part of 30 years, and he has a very, very successful business. Matter of fact, he pretty much owns every house on the block. And that right there is not cap. He pretty much owns every house on the block. But he's been doing it since he was in his early 20s. And he's always been real talented when it came to drawing, working on houses, to just growing his own empire. So I'm real proud of him, man. But I say that to say this, the documentary, the whole point of the documentary that I wanted to do, again, it couldn't be filmed here, part 1 and part 2, because I had to take you guys back. And it was well worth the 16 to 18 hours driving that I did there, and also driving back. And speaking of coming back, I didn't have any issues on the highway. I know at one time I made a video telling you guys I had fell asleep. I ran off in a ditch, but that wasn't the case this time. I had people on the phone with me constantly. I prayed before I left home about a safe trip there and back. And God is good, because I made it there, back. But the whole point of the documentary was to show you guys where I come from, and it wasn't really pretty, because I had made my decisions to make the choices that I made back then. My mom didn't make those decisions. My brothers didn't make those decisions. My cousins, my sister, I made those decisions to decide to do the wrong thing out there. And had I knew back then what I knew now, I could have been just as happy and successful then as I am now. So, I'm gonna say my life wouldn't have been rough if I would have made the right decision, because I came out okay after I started thinking differently. Remember I said, people don't really change, man. They really don't. They'll convince you that they change, but people don't change. what they do is change the way that they think. When you change the way that you think, you can do better for yourself. This year, ending off, was one of the best years of my life. And there was a few bumps in the road. There was parts of this year that had a few bumps, but it wasn't nothing that I couldn't weather through. But I work hard to make sure that no one can take from me the work that I've done to create a better life for myself and my kids. And I have experienced this year where people will try to do the most to try to hurt you, to degrade you, to embarrass you, to just do some really awful, nasty stuff, and I was able to weather through all of that. And like some of the stuff that was done, especially some of the things that was said to me, was extremely painful. But I was able to weather through it, man. And I'm thanking God that tomorrow is a new year and that I got this opportunity to start all over again, to make this year better than the last year and make this year better than the year before last year. And being a social media influencer is something I never thought I would be, especially when I was growing up and stuff and getting in trouble. But looking back on my life, I realized just how far that I have come in life. I think people that were close to me in my life never got a chance to know me as a person. I feel like they only got a chance to know me as a social media influencer and what I possibly had to offer them. And it happened to me multiple times, not just once, but it happened to me multiple times. And no one, like these people, they never got a chance to know me as a person, as an individual, as far as like, what am I really like? What was my past really like? It was just all about doing videos, what I can do for them, how I can benefit them. And every single time, nobody really got a chance to know the real Damion. And I realized that when I went home, looking through the newspaper clippings, and I started saying, where did I go wrong at? And I realized that it wasn't me who went wrong. I didn't go wrong anywhere. And I realized that when people is in your space, they not really there for you. They are in your space for what you have to offer for them. And this year, I took full control of my life back. Whether it was good or bad, I took full control over my life back. And now I wake up every day with joy in my heart. Sometimes I wake up with pain in my back, but that's how I sleep at times. But every day, I wake up with joy in my heart. I'm gonna be stepping into this new year single. And I can honestly say, no one's happy to be single or this is nothing to be proud of, but I can honestly say, I'm happy to step into this new year just to be able to do my thing, start all over. And, I look back on a lot of stuff, man, that I was involved in, stuff that I was a part of, things that I participated in, and I wish that I was never a part of certain things that I did because I allowed a lot of stuff to happen this year on social media. Now, I have a lot of great things going on, guys, off of social media. And right now, I really don't want to share some of those things because it's really, really personal. But I think this coming up year, I will open up about, I don't want to say too much now. But I told you guys I was going to do part 3, and this is part 3. And I just want to say thank you guys who supported me throughout this journey. Doing this documentary, it was very emotional. And technically, it should have just been one video. When most people do documentaries, they just do one video, maybe an hour long. But mine was a little bit different because I don't want to just be one of those people just talking about what I did and not being able to show what I did. But, I thank God for bringing me where he's brought me today. He has brought me a long way. I was literally, guys, I had nothing, man. I mean, I literally had nothing. When I got out of prison, 1998, I had never looked back, man. I had never, ever looked back when I got out of prison. But it was a struggle because all those years that I was in prison, I had so much come back to tear me down. all the years that I was in prison, the child support didn't stop. It kept calculating and calculating. All those old bills I had compiling before I went to prison, they were still calculating. So when I got out and I tried to get on my feet and I get a paycheck, it was like garnishment this, garnishment that. And it was like every time I took a step forward, I got knocked 2 steps backwards. And it's like now, I just feel really grateful for being in the space that I'm at right now. I'm in the process of finally buying me a house. That's gonna be my own. Again, I used to have the worst self-esteem. Even on social media, my teeth were always like my biggest self-esteem. By the grace of God, I was able to get those fixed this year and corrected this year. And I get so many compliments. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it changed my life. It really changed my life because I invested in myself. And it felt so good to be able to do something like this, man, because it really changed my life for the better. Every time I walk out this door, if I'm in a gas station, grocery store, somebody will walk up to me and just say, "You have the beautifulest smile I ever seen." And me being an older guy, it does make me feel good, man. It makes me feel real good. But anyway, I just want to say once again, man, thank you guys for listening to my story. Again, I will never do another documentary again. This is not a series or like something that you can do a mukbang over and over. This is a one-time thing. But I just want to say thank you all for so much love, so many positive comments and feedback. Thank you guys for not looking at me in a negative light based off of my past. And like when you guys see me on the internet acting a fool, going off and stuff, guys, it's because I'm triggered by something that was really hurtful and painful. And now I'm trying to not do that anymore. I can't stop others from doing what they're gonna do, but I done got to the point now where I laugh at everything now. Like literally, I laugh at anything that I see about me. I just kind of laugh at it. I don't need to respond anymore because I realize the position I'm in and where God has brought me. He's already said, "Let me fight your battles for you, Damion. What are you doing? Enjoy your life and let me fight those battles for you." But you guys have a wonderful, safe, blessed New Year's, man. Thank God for another year. Thank God for another year. Last year, I didn't share my New Year's resolution with anyone because when I share my resolution, I never follow it through. So I did it. I just did it. And I still haven't told you guys what my resolution was last year. Just know that it's been done. And next year, we're going to see if I can follow through with another resolution. But I love you guys. Once again, thank you for watching. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this video. And I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Until next time, I'm Damion Cryer. Peace.